he's been up to, and we'll go from there. So I'll give it up for Mr. Jackson, and then we got Brian Cooper making his no, I'm sorry, making her was it fourth appearance. So we got Jackson, and then we got Brian. Oh wait, that is crazy.
There we go.
Here we go.
Divas champ in the house.
That's right. Hi everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
the
Hello.
late night talk show. How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
Good. I'm going to give you a quick follow there, Brian. All right. I think I'm ready.
You as well.
Thank you.
And you looking so dapper. I like that as well.
Hey, I got to do what I can to keep up with Bobby here. This guy's bringing class to the late night show, so I got to do what I
I
can
feel
to
like
keep up
both
with him.
y'all bring it as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if I were to watch any one of y'all shows, trust me, I think I would watch both y'all. Because both y'all do great.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I try. I do my best. I know Bobby does his best as well, and we both kind of bring a different flavor to late night. You know, as Bobby was saying during his monologue, you know, each host kind of has their pros and their cons, the thing that they kind of bring. And, you know, you always hear these late night show wars. I would disagree. I think, you know, Bobby, we talked to Labsy, we talked to other people who kind of have shows like this. Like, we're all just trying to do what we enjoy, you know, and bring our own different flavor to this. So it's not really a competition. It's not like, oh, I got to do better so you can do worse. It's like, no, we're all going to do our own thing. And I think we all do it pretty well.
Right.
Thank you.
I can agree.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and I know this is your first time on the show, Jackson. So thank you for taking the time out.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Again, I wish I could have done it before the final show, but you know what? I'm still glad to have been able to make it here and be on your show. So thank you so much for having me.
Yep. And now Brian, this is your fourth appearance, right?
Yes. Fourth appearance.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started. So, just kind of like introduce yourself, to the viewers watching. We're gonna start with Jackson, and then we're gonna go with you, Brian.
Perfect. Well, I think
as so you know, I'm Brian Cooper. I go by Brianna. Some of my friends call me Bree, but I have a nickname. I go by Nikki. I am the current Divas champion at this point. 313 days as Divas champ. So I'm part of the gay community. I'm also Christian. I'm a trans woman, as I pretty much anyone would know already. I'm 23, about to turn 24, September 9th, which falls on a Monday.
happy.
And have a job. Been working there 3 years, and I have a big, huge following here on TikTok.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I mean, you gave me a pretty good, solid introduction to Bobby, so I don't know how much I can add to it, but I have my kind of own late night show. I bring my own flavor to it. My kind of my goal here on TikTok is to really try to promote content creators. You know, when you see shows like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, they have the celebrities, they have the best-selling authors, and everything's so scripted. And I'm kind of trying to turn that on its head and be like, why not interview content creators, people who are on this show, who have their own following, who have their own, maybe they got an Etsy shop, maybe they're their self-published author, and they just need a little bit of collaboration or just someone to talk to so that they can go out there and promote themselves. And so that's what I want to do, is to try and promote content creators, and then if I'm not lucky enough to have a guest on that night, then we do a fun game. We do some kind of fun activity just to kind of take you away from the day. You know, sometimes being an adult is hard enough, so I like to do a fun game to bring everyone outside of that, where it's something different, something unique that you're probably not going to see else here on TikTok, so that way for at least an hour, you can forget all the other stuff going on outside of TikTok and you can have some fun on my show. So that's kind of what I do here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So we got that covered. So um. Let me see. Okay. So Brian. I guess if you kind of like want to like like say like anything like you want to like do like far as like like career wise or because I know you say like like WWE and stuff like that. So like if you wasn't in the WWE, like what would you doing like if you wasn't in that particular field?
Well,
Or,
that's actually a very good question. If I was actually in the WWE right now, I would first have to start off with training in the developmental center in Florida. Then start myself off in NXT, work my way up to the NXT Championship, all the way up to the main roster, win the big deal. That's either the World Heavyweight title that's held by Gunther, who's held the Intercontinental Championship for like over 600 days, or the Undisputed Championship, which is currently held by the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who defeated Roman Reigns this past WrestleMania. Um, or I would probably go for the Women's World Championship held by Liv, or the Women's Championship held by The Rock's cousin Nia Jax. I just might go for either championship that there is. So,
Very cool. If you don't mind me stealing your thunder, Bobby, a little bit, I want to know about the belt a little bit more. The fact that you've got the belt, you've had it for, I think you said 300 days. I want to know the story behind that. I want to know how you got that and how you acquired that and how that happened.
So you want to know about the Divas Championship? Okay. Well, this is actually the Divas title. Actually, one of my number one favorite women's championships in the WWE, and the championship was part of the SmackDown brand back in 2008. Debuted it and designed by Vicky Guerrero. The championship was defended at the Great American Bash, where Natalya, Bret Hart's niece, the daughter of legendary Stu Hart, and whatnot, had faced Michelle McCool for the Divas title, and Undertaker's wife Michelle became the inaugural Divas champion. Inaugural, that means like first ever. And Michelle went on to hold it until like the month of December, where she lost it to Mrs. wife Maryse, the French Canadian. I have to say, the Divas Championship went to be held on from that point on from Maryse, Mickie James, Melina, Eve Torres, and AJ Lee, who are currently 3-time Divas champions. They're actually tied for 3 reigns. Then it was held by Paige, Nikki Bella, Melina are tied for 2-time Divas champs. And this championship was held by Ric Flair's daughter, 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, and the Nature Boy, Charlotte Flair. It was held by his daughter Charlotte, because she beat Nikki Bella at Night of Champions in 2015. Wow. And then Charlotte went to hold it for 196 days until WrestleMania 32 in 2016, when this championship was retired and the Divas term became retired, and a new women's championship came into play, and that was the Raw Women's Championship. So Lita presented the championship. Charlotte became the inaugural champion, and months later she faced Sasha Banks for the women's championship. Sasha beat her July 25th of 2016. That's when like the Divas Revolution became the women's evolution, because the women had gone from being the arm candy, when they went from having like popcorn matches, like they went from being like the divas to like main event superstars, like main eventing like the events like a Raw, SmackDown, the pay-per-views, like the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match, the first ever women's Iron Man match, the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, first ever like submission match that it's just like amazing. And to me it seems like anyone who's held the Divas and the Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the women's Attitude Era, I feel like the women who trailblazed, for the Divas Revolution to become born, like the Divas Revolution, like started from with Mae Young, Sensational Sherry, Kalani Kai. Then it came up to Trish and Lita main eventing Raw for the Women's Championship. It was like the women's evolution was continuing to grow every single time, and it was like, wow, these women can do a lot of things that a man can do as well. And it seems like, because I remember like this one time Lita faced Trish, and I think she broke her neck in one match, and she was out. Then she returned with an injury, earned a shot for the women's championship, and I think that was against then women's champion Molly Holly in 2003, but lost to her. And then Trish and Lita battled for the title 2004, 2005. Trish's last match was in her hometown of Canada, and Trish became like a record time women's champion. 7 times she held it, and it was amazing. And I believe Charlotte Flair surpassed that record of being I think it was like a 17-time women's champion, because Charlotte's held the Divas title once, the Raw Women's Championship I think 4 or 5 or 6 times, SmackDown Women's Championship multiple times, the Tag Team Championship one time, the NXT Women's Championship twice. So, and I feel like these women in WWE have been amazing, but it would have been iconic if I were in the ring with one of those women and I would have like challenged them, and I know those women would have brought their A game, because they're the most talented athletic divas in the WWE. I mean, although they're no longer called that in the superstars, but let's just be clear.
Very okay. So you're like, hey, I got this belt, even though they probably would have brought their A game. I think the belt is with the person it belongs with.
Yeah. So and the reason why I got the Divas Championship was because Nikki Bella, my all-time favorite diva, who was one half of the Bella Twins, who has a twin sister named Brie, who's also a former champion in her own right. Nikki held this championship 301 consecutive days, and ever since I saw Nikki defend her title, showed how much she cared about the Divas division, even when they started the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. And ever since then, she was facing like tough competition, like the likes of Paige, Tamina, Naomi, Charlotte Flair, including, like other women who wanted a shot at that title. And it's like, even for those who didn't get title shots against her, Nikki still, was like the best athletical diva, because I felt like every time when I saw her with this championship, Nikki, I just felt like Nikki, like that championship was giving Nikki like the power to just be like the dominant diva. And, to me, I just felt like Nikki carried this evolution like so far. And I just felt like there was no one like Nikki, because Nikki, she was like fearless. She was tough. And I mean, what else can I say? I mean, she's inspired me to have this title.
Cool. Well, awesome. Well, hey, thank you for letting me know that. That's awesome. That's clearly you're very well versed in wrestling and everything that has to go with that. So that's very cool. Thank you for giving me a little bit of a background about that. Thank you.
things, and someone by the name of Nation said, so this guy wants to wrestle with the girls. That's none of your business if I wanted to.
There you go.
Like,
So
me.
okay, so we're gonna just move on. So Lousy just joined. I'm not gonna see that, but if he wanted to come on, he could. I don't know. Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Lousy, if you want to come on, send a request. I got you. I know he was on last night, so
Thank you.
what's up, me too. Okay, well, while we wait, um, I guess since we got the whole backstory on Brian's life and the whole WWE belt, um, kind of like go into like detail, like in terms of like how, um, like how did you like, I guess, like how did you feel like once you got like your first belt, I'm pretty sure like you got like happy or like how did you feel like when you got to like first like WWE belt?
Well, I have to say, you actually just took my answer right out of my mouth. Yeah, I was when before I got the Divas Championship, the first championship I had before I even got the Raw Women's Championship was the WWE World Title, which is
Right.
the one Cody is holding, like the undisputed, but it was the regular version of the WWE World Championship. So um, I personally got that replica, and I held it for like a short amount of days. Had to give it up because my cousin refused to let me have it. Then years later, in 2020, on my 20th birthday, I got the Raw Women's Championship, and then held that for a numerous amount of months, all the way to like 2022 to 2023, and I'm still the Raw Women's Champ to this very day. And October 24th was when I got this, and I have the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase, which is like behind me. And ever since then, I didn't stop there. I got the Women's Attitude Era Championship and the Women's Tag Team Championship. So, counting this, the Raw Women's title, the Women's Attitude Era, and the Tag Team Championship, that, let's see, Divas, the WWE, Raw, the Attitude Era, and the Tag Team Championship, that's like Divas, Raw, WWE, Tag Team, Attitude Era. That's like 5 championships, I would say. And the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase is my first ever one ever, and held that for like 263 days as Miss Money in the Bank. So I felt like I was really, and yeah, I was really proud of myself, and I really love, like being a champion because the last guest on Bobby's Live last night, had told me that I could be champion. Like whether I'm in the business or not, I could still be champion because like it most of those wrestlers who cared about the WWE, who loved and respected the championship, and shows respect to all competitors in the ring. I feel like they're the reasons why I love holding these, and that one of these days when I make it into the WWE, because that is a dream I am willing to pursue, and you know, even if I have to just hey.
No.
Very cool. Hey, you got to pursue those dreams because it clearly you've got the mindset for it. You've got the mentality. You're manifesting everything, and now it's just going to be probably a matter of time before we see your name up there and working your way up until getting that title. I love that. I love that mindset. That's awesome.
Definitely, because I feel like I like when I make it into the business, like I like want to wrestle. I feel like I want to wrestle for as long as I want. Like even if it's from the start of this year, 2025, or sometime later in the near future, whenever I'm traveling across the world to getting into the business, or if I had to go to like different wrestling promotions, like in Japan, or if I had to wrestle there in order to get a call from WWE, I'll do what it takes to do it. So, I mean, hey, it's no question about it. I mean, as long as I keep that dream alive and hopefully make it into the Hall of Fame when I retire, and hopefully make it to the next WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Night of Champions, Survivor Series, TLC, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, Battleground. I mean, I'll do what I have to do it, because, I mean, getting into the WWE is so not easy. And I know, because, you gotta like do like a lot of tough things, and like once you're in the WWE, it's like they completely own you as well, because it's like because before WWE was handed over to someone else, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, Triple H. Well, Triple H, he's still actually in control of the business. It's Vince and Stephanie who are not a. Well, I think Stephanie's still only part. Yeah, I think Stephanie still owns like a bit of the WWE, but she's not in it. But her father Vince doesn't have control of the company anymore, so it's like, to me, I felt like, hey, I mean, because you see, when it was underneath their control, they did what they wanted to do. But ever since then, Rock has been on the Rock has been on like the board of directors, and um, some people might have known that, but who knows? But he's still the business Triple H runs. So
Okay.
And the realist, what's up? I know she said she had like a question. I'm still waiting on what her question was.
Yeah. So I did have a question. So like out of like your like WWE belts, like which one is like your favorite? Like, out of like all of them.
Out of all of them,
Yeah.
well, I would say it's this one.
The one you got. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, it's still my number one favorite. Whether if I had the WWE Raw Attitude Era Tag Team, or the NXT SmackDown the Women's World Championship. I mean, hey. Oh, Real said, what 3 female wrestlers inspires you the most? I had to say it was
That's my next question.
AJ Lee. I love Michelle McCool, and most importantly, Nikki Bella. She was really amazing. Yeah, those were the 3 wrestlers that actually inspired me. But since Michelle and Nikki are retired, I mean, I could still pick 3 more sets. I mean, Bianca Belair is another one who inspires me. Becky Lynch, she inspires me as well, because she's a multi-time women's champion as well. And I love Trish and Lita, because they've actually are trailblazers of the women's evolution, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm not gonna leave Trish and Lita out in the cold, because if it hadn't have been for them, there would be no Bella Twins, there would be no Natalya Neidhart, there would be no Becky Lynch, no Mickie James, there would be no Beth Phoenix, there would be no Jade Cargill, and there would definitely be not one Bianca Belair, because if it hadn't have been for them, none of those women would not be in that ring today. And there definitely would not be no Liv Morgan, not one Rhea Ripley. There would not be a Shayna Baszler. There would not be a Marina Shafir or a Jessamine Duke. There would not be a Ronda Rousey. There would not even not be so much as one. Because even Jacqueline, and I love Jacqueline as well, because Jacqueline's a legend in the WWE, and a Hall of Famer, 2-time women's champ, and hey, she's actually one of my favorite inspirations too. So I ain't gonna leave my girl Jacqueline out in the cold either.
You kind of have to, like you said, you have to know who came before you in order to know what they did to blaze the trails for the people coming after.
Exactly, because if it hadn't have been for them, I mean, of course the women's Attitude Era Championship was still around, but if it hadn't have been for them, this wouldn't be here. The Raw Women's Championship, and yeah, as Real said, there would be no Mickey James, no AJ Lee, no Roxanne Perez. There definitely wouldn't be a Melina. There would not be a Michelle McCool or a Kelly Kelly or a Layla. There would not be there would be no Alicia Fox for that fact. There would not even be so much as there would not be an Eva Marie or Eve Torres. If it hadn't been for either one of those girls, none of them would not be here. There even wouldn't be a Kalani in WWE if it hadn't been for either one of those divas. I mean, shoot, even Molly Holly's a trailblazer too, because she did a lot for the women's evolution too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Victoria, she's another one as well. I mean, including Jazz. Jazz, like she's another toughie in the ring too. Because I mean, and hopefully y'all don't mind if I tell y'all a little something about Jacqueline and Jazz. Both those women are like the toughest ones in the wrestling business because they both fought each other in 2002 for the women's championship, and Jazz has overtook Jacqueline a couple times though, and Jacqueline, when it comes to Jacqueline, she's like a real woman, but she kicks a lot of ass at times. No, it's true. Jacqueline kicks ass because, I mean, you put Jacqueline against a woman, you put her against a man, she will jack them up. And including Jazz is like that too. Put her against a guy or a girl, she will mess them up no matter what because Jazz is she's that chick, and I know it. So is Jacqueline because when it comes to the two, you put them in a What about China? I forgot about her. I can't leave her on the call either. Yeah, China. China is absolutely amazing too, and to see China, pass away in 2016, I know that broke a lot of superstars' hearts in the WWE because China is a former women's champion as well, and even had like great storylines with like Eddie Guerrero and having her feud with Lita and Trish, and just even tagging with Triple H and being part of the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness. And that's like when China was even part of like the corporation with Kane, X-Pac, then being part of the Ministry of Darkness with the Undertaker and Triple H, who was part of that group at that time, and that was like in like the 90s at that point. And China, she was even part of a men's Royal Rumble match for her first time, but my dream match is China versus Rhea. And speaking of that, dream matches, I figured like, China versus Rhea Ripley would have been a great match, but who knows? China will overtake Rhea because I've known China to be the dominant one. I mean, if it hadn't been for her, there would be no Rhea, no Bianca, no Jade, no Beth Phoenix at all. Mm. I mean, they're trying to hold the men's Intercontinental. Yeah, and yes, China held the Intercontinental Championship as well. So she's held the Women's Championship and Intercontinental Championship. So Nate does have a point. Yeah, she has held both a men's and a women's championship. So, I mean, if it hadn't been for China, none of those women would not be as dominant as they are. And I mean, hell, none of them would be there either if it wasn't for either one of them either because, I have to say, I think China is the main trailblazer, right next to Jacqueline, Trish, Lita, and Ivory and DX's girlfriend Tori and well, I don't know Tori. She's like a weak link. I don't know, but yeah, I would say they are like the trailblazers. And Real has just said Jacqueline and Bianca would be that actually would be a good match. Jacqueline versus Bianca or Jacqueline versus Rhea. I would like that. I would love to see a match like that. But I think a dream match I would really love to see would be China versus Nia Jax, or maybe China versus Beth Phoenix. To see how those two women, would dominate, or Jacqueline versus Beth. At that point, I mean, they said Jacqueline was a tough. Yeah, she was. I just said that, didn't I? Not. I mean, yeah, of course. Of course, Jacqueline is a toughie, and of course, Lita has beat her several times. So, but regardless if Jacqueline won or lost, Jacqueline was still like a tough cookie in the end, though, because at the end of the day, there's no one who can outdo her.
Sure.
And Jackie is like not only a former women's champ, but she's a former cruiserweight champ, because one time in 2004 she did beat Chavo Guerrero for the title as well. And we can't forget about one Miss Ivory. I just mentioned her. Yeah, Ivory is a former champ herself. So, and she beat Tori for the women's championship at SummerSlam 1999. So,
okay, well that was, thank you for the, the information. I think we all got a little out of that. I think we all did. So let's just change the subject here. So let's go to Jackson. So, do you have like any upcoming guests, any plans in the future for your show, or?
Upcoming guests. I don't have any major ones right now. I try to reach out to as many people as I can, and sometimes it's a lot of I can't do this week. Let me know again. So then it's okay, I'll reach out to you again. So no one at this point. As far as future plans, this last month of August was a little hard for me. I had some things going on just personally outside of TikTok that just kind of had me a lack of energy. I know sometimes, Brian, I don't know if you go live, but sometimes going live, you got to get ready, you got to get all set to go, and then just before you kind of get ready, you're I don't want to go live.
Not to cut you off, but yeah, I do go live. I mean, well, I haven't been live in weeks though, because I've just been real busy with myself, keeping a roof over my head, and trying to concentrate on my job, and just
absolutely.
So, but yeah, I do go live. I think I plan on going live probably on the 9th, which is my birthday, which I did mention I was turning 24 on that day. So, I'll just start going live again whenever I feel like it, because most of the time, what you don't know, I'm pretty sure, Bobby, you should already know that there are times, I go live, and then sometimes, I'll go live each and every other day, but then, I tend to take a hiatus, or I tend to take a break, because, sometimes there could be a little bit of drama on there too. So
exactly.
Just be let me get in the right mindset. Let me just take some time off of it, because I just don't want to overdo.
And that's what my August was for me. So I try to go live on weekdays, and like I said, a lot of stuff going on outside of that. I was I just need a time out. Put me as a priority. So I'm kind of coming back, hopefully with some more energy. And what I want to start doing is kind of doing a live stream. So not just doing TikTok, and Bobby, I'm kind of taking a page out of your book as well, but trying to do YouTube Live and maybe do certain events on Instagram Live, because TikTok is great, but the algorithm has not been my friend for these last few months, in more ways than one. And so for me, for wanting to try and get my name out there and wanting to try and grow and let people know, like, hey, this is an opportunity, this is a place for you to collaborate and come on the show. If no one knows that I exist, it's hard for me to do my show and interview new content creators. So that's what I'm trying to do here in September, is really try to focus on not just posting here on TikTok, but going live, doing a TikTok, and also at the same time with a different phone or different tablet, doing YouTube Lives and posting to both of them and trying to grow on all platforms versus putting all my eggs in the TikTok basket and then not having the algorithm help me out in any way. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to use September to try and kind of reinvigorate, relaunch, the late talk show on different platforms and see if anything clicks or see if anything happens there.
Right. And I can understand that too, because sometimes I feel like when either one of us go live, I understand it could be like a lot of insignificant pressure on some of us, because it's like we're trying to get up to so many likes, we're trying to get up to so many gives, we're trying to get up to so many viewers and trying to see if people are going to like us or whatnot. And it's like, you got, like, sometimes, like, you could put, it's like so much pressure being put on you. It's like, you kind of don't know what you're doing at that point. So
yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a good point.
Because because I'm going to tell you this, I am a pro. I am a veteran on TikTok, because I've been on TikTok for a long time. I've been on here since like 2020. So
wow.
Because one of my cousins had introduced me to TikTok, and when I first started TikTok on my previous account, I was a rookie. Yeah. I didn't know what to do or how to do it, but then it's like when I started doing my first ever videos of just myself doing like with lights and flashing and all that other stuff, and just like having like a little mini toy title and whatnot before I had the big guns right here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, having to like debut on TikTok and just know what it's like to be like a newbie, because going through that experience, I had to know what it's like to like gain followers, what it's like to earn followers and do different kind of content, because I was doing like not just videos of myself, but videos of WWE, church. I did like Atlanta Housewives, like vids or whatnot, like clips. I would do so much. And then sometimes I do montages, like I would take a picture off the internet and like do multiple pics and then just do montages. I'll do that a lot. And, hey. And it was before I was able to do like 10-minute long videos or whatnot. Like I was able to post up longer videos and whatnot. So, but then, because of course this is actually my main one, my new account right now that I have right now, because I ended up deleting TikTok and then having like to start over again. So it's like, but then eventually on my first one, my very first one, I reached up to like 2,000, but now it's up at 3,000. On this one, I'm over 3,000 followers. I have 14K likes now. I'm up to that. And I feel like, the reason why I'm earning those followers and those likes and so many people are liking my videos is because I'm giving them content that they want to see, content that they really want. Because I think that's what I was mainly starting to get and understand. And I started gaining a lot of self-confidence within that. And it took a lot for me to handle. But at that point, I eventually got it that, I can't just do like the same thing. Like I have to like give people something that they really want. So when I started doing Atlanta Housewives, church videos, or record video clips off my camera and then post them on TikTok and give someone that they really want to see. Or if it's like a scene from a movie, that's what, got me followers mainly because, but it's mostly the respect that I give because and Bobby, this, that I told you this as well, that, in order to get respect, you gotta like give it. So I've done that. I've earned followers like that too. And I'm also a great singer. I sing a lot. Sometimes when I'm live. That's mostly if I'm not talking about WWE as much. But
right. When you're not talking about WWE, you're singing a song for us. I love it. Well rounded.
So it's like sometimes, there are times I'll be singing, sometimes I won't because I like to like rest my singing vocals because I don't want to like overwork it.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
You know what that means to overwork, and it's like, but then at the same time, it's like I like to showcase what I love to do. So.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we're progressing. But let me see. I have a question. I kind of lost it. Let me see. I guess it was another important. I guess I don't know.
Hey, that's all right. If it flew away, that doesn't mean that it wasn't an important question. That's all right. No worries.
Exactly.
Well, here, Bobby, what about you? I mean, I caught, I think, some of your monologue. You talked about your hopes and your dreams for this show. So you're leaving TikTok, but it doesn't mean you're going away. You're stopping the Bobby McHenry show on TikTok. So for those wanting to know more, I think, you and I have talked a little bit behind the scenes about it. Tell us, make this a little bit about you. I'm going to turn the table on you a little bit. It's a Bobby McHenry show. Why are you taking a step away from TikTok, and how do we continue to follow your journey?
Well, so since this is my last show, I won't be on the app no more because for two reasons. I feel like if they either like get rid of the app or like because I know like I saw like this video saying that the TikTok CEO was gonna get like I think he said something like he was gonna like get rid of the app if he didn't like sign like a particular like petition or whatever. So
I highly doubt anyone's getting rid of this app. I highly doubt.
Yeah, well, I know some people really want to, and I know some other people really want to keep it. So yeah, we'll see. I think it comes up in like January. They have to decide, and then they get a 3-month extension to April or something. But even then, yeah.
Because even then, because I heard Biden was trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And because he wanted them to like sign something, but I know that's not going to happen because people tried to get, the politicians tried to get rid of it. But I've actually put out a post on not just here on TikTok, but on Instagram and on the X, formerly known as Twitter, to vote to save TikTok. And because like I want everyone out here to like vote to save it because TikTok is not going to end. I mean, because the last time they tried to get rid of TikTok, they ultimately failed. That was like an epic fail when they tried that. So if they thought they were going to take it away from us again this year or any other year, it's not going to happen because I worked so hard to get these followers, those likes, get all videos up there. And if you think I'm starting over,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Which means you're dead wrong because I did not get up to 3,000 followers or 14K likes to just lose the app and then having to lose anything that I got. No, because if I had to do it and I had to start over, no, I would not do this app again, or because that's what they're going to do,
Right.
or even if I would still do it, I would have to make sure I would still have access to my TikTok account
Sure.
because I no if no because I'm not starting over for no one, so that's no. This app is not going anywhere. It's not. So that means I highly doubt it because, and I mean Biden, he dropped out of the race anyway. So that means he can't do nothing about TikTok. That means he can't take it away from us at all. So since he dropped out and Kamala Harris is now running for president, so that means she's in control of decisions that she can do. But because Biden, he's getting old, he's senile. So I just think, but wow, Biden, because when I found out he was trying to take TikTok away from us, I certainly did not trust him at all. And just because I didn't trust him, don't mean I trusted Donald Trump either, because I don't trust him either at all. That orange toothpaste skin, wearing, looking cool. No, I don't trust him at all. So.
Yeah, well, it's hard to trust any politician where they say one thing like, "Oh no, it's fine," and "Oh, we got to get rid of it," and you know what? Well, maybe it'll be here.
I feel like, because to me, it's like if they're gonna get rid of TikTok, then why create TikTok in the first place? When knowing TikTok's like the new Google, it's like the new Instagram, it's like the new Facebook for us. So to me, it's like, why make TikTok if you're gonna get rid of it? Why? Because it's run by the Chinese people or whatnot? What is it because of that? I mean, who cares? It's just an app. I mean, you can't just make something for us and then take it from us like that. So it wouldn't make sense to make it and then take it. So it wouldn't make sense. So that's why I know Biden's out of the race and Kamala's taking over. And I have a feeling, and if anyone is going to ask me who I think is going to win this election, it's going to be Kamala.
Okay, bold prediction, but we'll see.
It's one.
Yeah, keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we shall see.
So going back to what I was saying.
Sorry, not to cut you off like that.
No, you good. So I do have a couple apps in mind. I don't know. I just need to look up the kinks before I make it official.
Sure.
So it's gonna be either on. I don't know if you know Clap. It's an app called Clapper. I don't know.
I've heard of Clapper. Yep.
So it's gonna be either that or. Okay, if that doesn't work out, I can probably go on. It's an app called Bigo. I don't know if y'all.
Bigo, I've heard of that. I've heard of Bigo, but I think I've been on that app, but I don't think that app's worked out for me.
Okay, it's honest. That's an honest thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've downloaded so many apps, but I'm just like, okay, is this app really enough? Because sometimes, you gotta make accounts, you gotta have a login, a password, or anything like that. And it's like, okay, this is kind of a little too much.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they want to get you in and they want to keep you there, but I get it. TikTok is kind of becoming the social media giant at this point, but I get it, Bobby. It is one of those things where you keep wanting to run that race and keep trying to get on the algorithm and keep trying to do this. When you look at TikTok and you say, is it really worth this, or can I go somewhere else and do the show that I want to do? I've done the show a couple times where I'll play certain games and I'll say a certain kind of word once or twice, and then my show will get restricted. Where I'll play, a game and one of those words, like a movie game, is in the title or is in the description. Or if I say just the word drink a couple times in a certain context, and they're like, oh, nope, you're talking about certain kind of substances, 21 or older. And it's like, what? Some of these things are just like that got banned or that got me restricted for the live. So I get it. They're trying to really cut down on certain things that you can or can't say, and so sometimes it can be tough.
And not to cut you off, but that's something I've also kind of had to experience though too. Anytime I was live, like or when I'm on anyone else's live, you gotta be careful what you say on here because they will either restrict you, give you violation warnings. Because one time I actually was like suspended off of TikTok and I couldn't get access back into my account until I was able to get full access back again. So I was like suspended for like I don't know how many months I was, or I think I was suspended to like for so many weeks. It was just long story at that point.
Wow,
But
yeah,
being
that's crazy.
suspended from the app for like a long while, I was able to like reaccess my account and I was able to still continue like uploading, posting TikToks, and at that point, so far I've just been like, okay, so I've been suspended once before, and I'm not trying to go down that road again. So I'm just gonna try to be careful what I say on here, and that's why like I mostly try to like to warn people to be positive and just don't bring me that negativity because I'm not
Go
full
ahead.
of that.
So,
Because
I was playing with some sound effects.
because at the end of the day, I'm not a negative person. I try to be as positive as a peach, and I am really, like just trying to like make it through this TikTok journey until I feel like I want to retire from TikTok and just go down as like the greatest legend here on TikTok. Well, I'm already am, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, you already are. You just want to make sure other people know about it.
yeah, I just want to make sure other people know that I'm just trying to do right on this app. I'm a legend, and that I do want their respect because I give so much of respect to other people. I want that exact same courtesy back from others who are willing to respect me, who want to respect me, who show themselves friendly to me, and who are not hypocritical and who are not judgmental and especially those who are not racist towards me because that's something I've dealt with on this app is the racist comments and the hypocrisy that some people have given me, and even some of my biggest supporters like the realist or my girl Nene, even Keisha, my girl Miss Keisha, who was just on here supporting me, could even tell y'all that I've dealt with so much of that, and I
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, listen, I love that you're trying to spread positivity because the world's already negative enough that coming on here and being like, I'm going to say something controversial and I'm going to be negative so I can get more followers and get more likes and more comments. It's like, that's not the way to grow. That's not the way to be a person. Be positive, and positive energy will come back to you as well.
Yeah, because that's what I mainly mostly try to get people to understand is that if you give good things to me, good things will come back to you most of the time. But if you give out bad, it's not going to end well for you because, I simply try to warn people about it, but they take it as a joke because I told them because I told them karma does come around and you don't want karma to come back around on you because it may not have come back the way you did it, but it's so going to come back the way how it was done because, karma could come back to you good ways, it come back to you bad. So, but if it comes back at you like in a bad way, then again, like I said, it's not going to end well for you. It's not going to look pretty for you because, for some people who heard the phrases, God don't like ugly, he ain't too fond of cute, and they take it, y'all can take it as a joke, but it's not a joke because at the end, that is a reality some people have got to understand. And people laughed in my face, made fun of me or made insults or racist jokes. I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can sit there and play me like that. But then again, as I warn him, God don't like ugly. He ain't too fond of cute. So if y'all want to keep playing like that, y'all go straight ahead because when your karma comes back, it's not gonna end well for you.
Right on.
There you go.
Tell them just watch out.
There you go. I like it.
Okay.
Well, Bobby, my friend, I have to get going. I do want to say thank you so much for having me on your show. I do appreciate the invite and letting me know that this was there, giving me the opportunity to kind of send you off on TikTok. In your monologue, you did say, you were like, well, I'm not that good. This guy's better. I think you do a fantastic job. I've been able to catch your lives, catch your videos.
So great.
You do a fantastic job. And you're like, my first 2 seasons, don't watch those ones. Listen, I've seen my old videos too. Don't watch those ones either, but we're getting better. We're learning, we're growing, we're figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And that's what makes us better content creators. It's realizing that this is a journey that we can look in the past and we can say, oh, probably wasn't my best video. But if we realize what we can do to make it better, that's what's going to help us out. So I'm excited to see where you go. I keep in touch, my friend. I'm rooting for you. I hope whatever new site you choose, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to support you and do whatever I can to be a part of it. But best of luck, my friend. Thank you for the 6 seasons that you did here on TikTok, and I can't wait to see where you take the show from here.
And also, Jackson, I do appreciate you following me and me following you back. If you have Instagram, I'll be more than glad to follow you on that as well. If you do, I have an Instagram myself, so
it's the same thing for me. It's Late Talk Show, all one word. It's the same thing that you follow here, same title. So yeah, follow me. I'll follow you back on Insta.
Yeah, you can just probably after this live's over with, you can probably DM me. Well, of course I have to say hi first, and then when you see my message, then you'll DM me. So yeah,
sounds good. I will do that. I will reach out. So thank you again, my friend. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right. Well.